Hey everybody, Bryan Broaddus here, and welcome once again to The Stack. It's our weekly look at all things Dallas Cowboys, NFL, draft. We'll talk about it all. I'm joined here by my scouting buddy, Zach Wolchuk, also works with me on 105.3 The Fan. Give Aisha Morrison some love. She she didn't get to be with us this week. She's got some things going on, but she would appreciate your support. Everything's okay, but just reach out to her and tell her you're thinking about her. Zach, we kind of put the post-draft things, we talked about the draft post-draft, kind of put that to bed. I want to kind of, as we get through, once a week, get into some of the team-building aspects where maybe some questions, fan questions. I love fan questions. I love to create questions. You know, with the work I do with you on 105.3 The Fan, Krusty's Corner, 340 every day. I always like to kind of create questions. I like to have discussions about certain things. And I've got a few questions that I want to go through with you. Some of these questions came from our fans.
Ooh, okay.
And I think the fan base of Crown Global Media, that when you ask them to put something together, they do a great job.
Yeah.
They do a great job. There's a very highly intelligent fan base, Cowboy fans. I mean, there's some other teams fans and stuff, but mainly these Cowboy fans, they will come up with some really, really good questions, and it kind of makes me think about it. So I want to take this episode today and ask you a few of these questions from the fans. And I have to be transparent here. I wrote the questions down. Okay. And I did this on an episode of the Doing All Right with Vach.
Okay.
I wrote the questions down, and I didn't put who the questions were from.
All right.
So
you might hear your question asked.
You might hear your question asked.
Just know it's you.
Just know it's you.
All right.
And then promise next time I will get your name. I'll make you famous.
Yep.
As we like to say in the G-Bag Nation.
Leave your name.
Leave your name, where you're calling from or texting from. I'll make you famous. All right, number one, and this is my handy little pad that I
Ryan's
work
handy dandy notebook.
Handy dandy notebook. All right, this is a question. Is the Cowboys defense to set up to win in the back or in the front end?
Ooh.
If you had to say, as you currently look at this, and I got to get a nail and put it right in the middle of my glasses so they stop sliding down my face. Either that or I got to get those lenses put in. But if you had to say,
get that LASIK.
Yeah, if you had to say, is the Cowboys built, set up to win in the front or the back?
This really is a fantastic question.
It is, and I wish I could give somebody credit for it.
I know that because I could see cases to be made for both here. I'm going to lean.
Oh, don't do this to me.
I'm going to say front.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to go with front.
Thank you.
And the reason is because I do like what they've done at safety.
You don't trust the secondary, do you?
There's too many questions at corner.
Too many questions.
That's why I have to go with the front here, right? Because I don't know about Ravel's health, and we've talked about that. We both believe in him, but he's still got to prove that. Bland's health, question mark. Kobe Durant, he could end up being a sneaky good addition. I think Jalen Thompson was a phenomenal signing, and we believe in Caleb Downs. I think Caleb Downs, though, can also be part of why the front is built for success, because him playing closer to the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Quinnen Williams, I still don't think is truly appreciated, and we have a good enough idea, only seeing him for half a season, of the impact and how good he really is. Rashawn Gary is a good NFL player. How good will he be as a pass rusher? We'll find out. Kenny Clark, solid NFL player, right? I think Donovan Ezeraku, I've said it on the show before, I think he's going to take a year or two leap here. I think he's going to be good. Malachi Lawrence, you've added guys like LT Overton, he'll be a rotational guy. Bullard, who they added along the front. Tito Abonia is another guy. So
look at you throwing an Abonia.
Yeah, I mean, like I think that they're better suited at the front. Like I kind of know what they've got here, whereas you've got questions at corner, and I think that even at linebacker, adding a D Winters is a massive upgrade for what you had a year ago. So I'll lean the front, but there is a chance that ultimately, if Revel hits like you're hoping he does, and is able to have a year two, that the secondary ends up being better this year.
Yeah.
But I think right now, front's your answer.
Man, I'm going to say the back.
Okay.
They threw the most resources at it.
Yeah.
Now, the front, they've added the linebacker. But how you look at Downs, I think he could be in both categories. God, I hate this. I hate when I ride the fence. I'm not riding the fence.
I started doing it too.
But you start.
But they also added a first-round pick in the front.
It's got to be the front then, right?
Right.
But I feel like when you look at what they're trying to do, they built, what they add in the corners, adding 3 safeties basically.
Yeah, PJ Locke included in that.
Yeah. And then your defensive coordinator
is a secondary guy. Right. It depends on how you feel about Bland and Revel, right? Like if you can tell me.
I wish I could feel good about both those guys.
Yeah. And if you did, then I'd say that in the back. Because I think their safety room is you could argue maybe the most improved unit in all of football from what they had a year ago to this year. You actually have good safety play now. Whereas I thought
potential for good safety.
Potential. Well, yeah. I mean, I think Jalen Thompson's going to be good. PJ Locke, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a guy that's been a full-time starter.
I liked Locke's tape at Denver, though.
Yeah, impressive. I mean, I think that he's better. He's probably better today than Malik Hooker is, in my opinion.
See, that's the whole thing. People think I hate Malik Hooker, and I just want a better player.
Yeah,
I want a better player.
I just think he's a strong.
If I ask you the question, who benefits most from the additions they made?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think people will say, well, it's Overshown because of the linebacker, because of potentially with Winters and then with Downs and that crew?
Yeah.
Overshown would benefit from that. But I wonder if it's these corners that benefited from adding all these safeties and adding Downs.
No, that's actually a great point, especially if they're going to do a lot of cover 2 high shell and safeties are going to be able to kind of limit the corners, right? Like there's a security valve there for your corner play. So I think that actually that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the safety, because that.
You think the corners benefit more from the additions, right?
Yes. Yes.
I would argue that too.
Yeah. And hopefully you're better rushing the passer.
God.
I'm surprised.
Is this team, let me ask you this then.
All right.
Let me ask you this.
Ask away.
Okay, and this is another question because it leads into another question. Do you anticipate Lawrence having a similar rookie season to Donovan Ezeraku? Or does coaching matter, which is big on Crown Global Media? Mm-hmm. We're a big coaching matters. It might be my next T-shirt we get.
Coaching matters.
Does coaching matter in this? And you think this staff is better equipped for player development?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say this. I hope they have the pass rush. Where are you on that?
Well, I'm a believer in Donovan Ezeraku in the second year. So I think, yes, I would lean towards Malachi Lawrence does have more of a rookie year.
Better rookie year.
In line with Ezeraku in terms of sack numbers.
I'm throwing Aaron White-Cotton under the bus.
Yeah, and you know what? Hey, I don't.
Probably not fair to him.
You saw regression, though, along the entire defensive line.
The whole
so
group.
Who's culpable for that?
It seemed like the whole group was just...
I mean, even Osa was not as good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that you've got improved coaching. You've got teachers. I think that's one thing that clearly Brian Schottenheimer has put an emphasis in. And I don't think you had that. I think that was very known on our feelings on McCarthy and his staff. Like, I don't know that McCarthy was, I'm trying to get my hand in the ground and really teach here, and educate. I think Shoddy is like that. I think Clayton Adams is like that. I think Connor Riley is like that. And defensively, clearly Christian Parker is one of those guys. Scott Simons. I mean, heck, you could hear it just from the stills or see it from OTAs. He's out there doing the drills with the linebackers, right? So I think that you will have a more prepared, but I think the other element of it is to go in line with the coaching, you also do need smart football players And I think that they lacked that, and they've put an emphasis now in high IQ players, right? Like, I think that it stood out to me that a lot of these draft picks at one point were like all academic honor roll guys in their conference. So I do think that they've tried to marry the two, but I also think that helps, and you've got a smarter secondary now. Like Jalen Thompson, Shoddy threw out as a green dot option. Yeah. Caleb Downs, his superpower is really just his football IQ and his feel for the game. PJ Locke, I believe, is probably an upgrade over what you had there with Donovan Wilson. No disrespect to Dono in terms of intelligence. So, yeah, they've taken a step in that direction.
I know this is from last year, and now we're kind of having the positivity of Christian Parker. Mm-hmm. We get to talk to him. Boy, he's a smooth-talking guy.
He is. That scares you?
It always scares me.
It does.
It scares me when you get a guy that's really smooth talker, really smart. You could tell. Young guy's been a lot of places. And a young guy who's been a lot of places sometimes can be scary. But who he's been with, grade of F. Okay, we're talking about all the positivity of now.
Right.
Grade of F at this time last year, now that we know it, on the coaches or the addition of the players they got in the offseason from last year. When it comes to, because the positivity about Christian Parker is, man, they needed to add 5 guys. I think they've added 4. And then you include Christian Parker. But you got to feel better about the players they've added this year. Mm-hmm. Do you give the grade of an F for the coaching on defense or the acquisition of the players those coaches brought in?
The acquisition of the players for me. I mean, I do think the coaching was poor, but I argued this all year, and I've got.
You thought they were. You thought they were poorly.
They were talent poor.
They were talent poor.
Yeah, and look,
that's why you had to make the big swings at it this year.
100%. You needed to upgrade your personnel.
Okay.
Now I was wrong, because it's off season, and I'm having to temper my own expectations if I don't want to just get too excited and try and talk myself into
Cowboy
delusion.
Fans. Let's do it.
But hell, I did it with Kenneth Murray and Jack Sanborn. I'm like, Kenneth Murray was just in a bad system in Tennessee. Yeah. He was a good player coming out of OU. He's had 100 tackle seasons in L.A. with the Chargers. He's not that bad. Oh, look at Jack Sanborn. Chicago fans are so upset that he's gone. That's Fluce's guy. He's going to come in here and be like Eric Hendricks
from Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm like, hell yeah, it's fine. No, those guys can't play. Kyrie Elam, former first-round pick, he's got the pedigree. Look, Kyrie Elam couldn't play.
Yeah.
So, they brought in players that were not very good.
So F on the acquisition of the players.
Absolutely.
You said something interesting walking out of the parking garage a couple of days ago.
Ooh, he's been stewing on this.
Yeah. You said, I ain't going to training camp and getting all excited about this.
Yeah. I need you to help me.
You're lying to yourself.
I need you to help me. Yeah.
You're lying, aren't you?
I know myself, and it's going to be hard not to. We get out there and they start doing, especially if we get some 1v1s and Caleb Downs is out there.
You think you're going to get any 1v1s out there?
I'm praying. I'm just trying to will it into a Shoddy, please. I know.
Is that scout in you?
Is that
scout in you? Want more evaluations?
I know you're a Crown Global fan, Shoddy. Come on. Give us some 1v1s. Even just if it's wide receivers and DBs.
Yeah.
That's fine. And tight ends included, right? That's all right. We don't. I don't. I am a line guy. You know that. I love
every
my
other
trench
day.
play.
Give me some one-on-one.
But give me some wide. Give me.
How you going to temper your expectations? It made me think when you were starting to talk about. You're like, I'm getting into it and all that. But you said that walking to our cars the other day. You looked at me and says, please keep me from getting excited right now about this.
Well, it's something that you've said about. Did we overvaluate Ezeraku and maybe the pass rush? Being able to be there without Micah because their offensive tackles weren't very good.
Yeah.
And I think there was something to that. Now, Guyton getting hurt was a bummer because I think Guyton was having a good camp. Like Nate Thomas, your backups behind there, Cornelius, like that's a guy that's never played an NFL game. And maybe Johnny Cornelius still turns into something. I don't know. But yes, I think that you have to kind of weigh it. I think where we can really tell will be their joint practice with the Rams or when they've done stuff with
the Rams will kick your ass. The Rams will expose, and maybe even the Chargers too if you work with them.
Yeah. Those joint practices, if what we saw in practice versus themselves kind of carries over, then I'll allow myself to be like, okay, now I can really kind of get excited about what I saw.
So you're blocking verse and you're blocking and you're running routes on these guys.
Because they kicked their ass.
Yeah.
I mean, and then that ended up being a sign of things to come.
Right.
It's like, wow, they
and
got
the
run all
defense
over.
they're getting run all over.
Yeah, I mean, Puka's out there. Devontae Adams is making plays. It's like, ooh, was this just a bad practice? Nope, that was a good indication for your defense was not going to be good. And sometimes I think we hope that that's not the case, or we chalk it up to, maybe it's just a bad day. I think there's actually, what I've learned over the course of the last few years is that's probably the biggest thing in training, the most important day in training camp to me, is that joint practice.
Yeah.
And how do they look? I think that is a great indication of this is a reality check here.
Man, Donovan Ezra was going to have 26 sacks the way he was practicing, right?
Yep. And
how do we temper that?
I think we have to.
How do we do that? How do you not... And there's fans out there with us. There's fans out there that watch the Stack and watch Doing All Right and listen to us on 105.3 The Fan and trust the tape and love of the Star and everything that we do. They're out there watching the practices too. How do they? I mean, are we so beat down now that it's like we got to temper, or is it, man, that was a pretty good play. That was a pretty good rush. That was a pretty good. How do you get around that?
I think we still do. That was a good play. That was a good rush. I think it's just sharing what we're seeing, but with the caveat of it's training camp, and will this carry over into the season?
Yeah.
When they're playing against other teams, will this carry over? Right, so instead of just, oh my gosh, Donovan Ezra, this is now the future face of the defense. He's about to have a 10-sack season, rookie of the year loading, maybe overhyping, which I'll raise my hand and say I've been guilty of in the past, and certainly the text will let me know about that.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody watching knows my history is I'm a diehard Cowboy fan.
Sure.
And there are times where I will fight the media member and Cowboy fan hat, right?
Yeah.
I try to blend it as best I can. I think there's times where people appreciate that because they like the voice of the fan that I can kind of give at times, but I do think you don't want to oversell and get people too overly excited. But we're there for a reason, and that is to share what we're seeing.
Right.
So I think it's to share what we're seeing, but with a balanced approach of, okay, this was a good day. Can we stack good days, and can that now carry over into preseason games against other opponents?
Can Christian Parker and this staff get more out of Sam Williams than previous regimes?
I'm going to say no. I think Sam Williams is who Sam Williams is.
Wow.
We've seen him with multiple defensive coordinators. I think Sam Williams is a guy that at times he is locked in, he is engaged. This might be the best role for him. I think we've wanted Sam Williams to be a starter, to step up and be a guy that, hey, you take a second-round pick and a guy that has the type of talent that Sam Williams has, you want him to be a starting outside linebacker for you in this scheme. I don't think that's what he is. I think he is a rotational player. And Sam Williams is also somewhat of his own worst enemy when you look at all the personal fouls and maybe silly mistakes and over-pursuing and just the mentals, right? The brain work stuff that's been the buzzword all offseason. Sam Williams has lacked some of that in my career. So I think now maybe some pressure's off. He's a backup player. He's on a one-year deal. He tested the free agent market. There clearly was not a market for him or he wouldn't be back here, in my opinion. I think we know what Sam is. And that's a guy that'll give you an awesome pass rush here or make a nice stop against the run. But overall, he's not a guy that you want to rely on to have to be playing 40 snaps a game for you.
Man, it's a shame what this narrative has become about Sam Williams.
Yeah. But he's a hell of a special teams gunner. You know, that they might have found something there.
You're looking for something now, aren't you?
Hey, special teams, blocking kicks.
Of the last several years of the draft, is that not understandable with the player? I mean, not understandable. Like, man, I thought so much more of this guy,
Sam. Yeah. I mean, look.
The Cowboys were talking about him and Tolbert.
Yeah.
Those back-to-back picks. Who do we pick first? Tolbert first. Sam Williams. That's a second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, I mean, you just think he is what he is, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. I don't have high expectations for Sam Williams. And if somehow it clicks for him and they're able to find, okay, woo, it finally happened. Here's an 8-sack season for Sam Williams, then awesome. But he'll parlay that into a payday for somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's great because it's good for the Cowboys this year. And I think there's something to that. I think this defense is going to be
Hoping for that
built
compensatory pick all of a sudden.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also think this defense is going to be built on, it's not your one spearheaded stud like you had with Micah that you're hoping to get 15 sacks a season. It's by, I know we don't like the by committee approach necessarily. That's hurt us in the past, but that is really kind of how Fangio's defense is. Right. It's I get 4 sacks here, 8 sacks here, 6 sacks here, 6 sacks, and that's how Seattle was last year too when they won the Super Bowl. So I think there'll be elements to that. If you can get 5 to 8 sacks from Sam Williams, that's tremendous. That's a great year from him.
Make or break season. Make or break. Tyler Guyton.
Yeah, it is. I think he's going to break it.
Do you really?
And I think it's just because I don't think he can stay healthy. I just think physically he just hasn't shown it. I think that the talent's there, but
is he the offensive version of Overshown? That you see talent in you, but
and honestly not.
I mean, and I people are asking, is it fair to call Overshown injury prone?
How can you not?
Because, they're saying, linemen are falling into his knees.
Yeah, I mean, I defended Josh Young on that. We're going to go do the Rangers-Cubs game after this and cover that, so I came in my Rangers polo. But, yeah, it's at some point, is it bad luck? Yes.
Yeah.
But once it happens multiple times, that is what the injury-prone label's there for.
Yeah.
It's injuries are not in anyone's control.
Yeah.
Nobody's going out there like, hell yeah, I hope I get hurt. I hope I pull my hamstring. I hope I broke my elbow. No, but they happen. And when they start to stack up on one person, that's how you become injury prone. That's what injury prone is. And unfortunately for both of those guys, they are injury prone. Availability is the best ability. It was my whole knock on Jordan Tyson this entire draft season.
You were very consistent with that. You were.
And I see the talent with Jordan Tyson. But I can't take a player in the top 10, in my opinion, that I don't know if he's going to play 10 games or 16. And that's been the issue for Tyler Guyton. And right now, when we're labeling him a bust, it's because he hasn't been able to get on the field. And as soon as you start to see him improve, and he's putting it together like he was.
Yeah,
in
you're watching
camp,
that practice,
boom,
and you're like,
he gets hurt.
Look at him go, look at him go, and then
now he's got to restart the whole thing. So it sucks because for Guyton, I think he really could become a good player. He was drafted as a very raw player to begin with that hadn't played a lot,
right? And
now he's got the expectation of these plug and play first round Cowboys linemen, and he didn't really fill that whole narrative, and then that's part of it. So he hasn't lived up to expectations. I can't bank on him playing a full season healthy, and I think that's why they were so adamant that they got to go get Drew Shelton. Yeah. He was the last player probably left at tackle that they thought legitimately could start at tackle, and they pulled the trigger.
Jake Ferguson, make or break.
I don't get the hate on Ferg. Do you know how many tight ends had 800 yards and 6 touchdowns last year?
Preach.
It was Ferguson and one other player. Yeah. So, I understand the yak stuff. Do I want more from Ferguson? Absolutely, I do. 100%. Because we saw a guy that was hurdling people on Thanksgiving against the Giants. We saw him making plays down the field. But he's still a productive player.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I do need from Ferg, I need you to tap in to be a more consistent blocker. Because I've seen it on tape where he can block and he does a good job.
All right.
Turn on that Giants game the last week of the season.
Sure.
Turn on the Christmas Day game against Washington. He's blocking and he's doing a really good job of it. But then there's other times where it's not so much. Yeah. We're missing assignments, and a run that could go for 10 goes for 1. That type of thing. So I think that I get wanting more from Ferguson, but he's not getting crazy highly paid. He's amongst where he should be among tight ends. So I think Ferguson's made it. I think Ferguson is a good starting tight end. He's probably more of a Dalton Schultz, which I get. We wanted to run Dalton Schultz out of town, but that's still a good player.
Yeah.
You need somebody else to step up as well in that tight end room, and maybe it is Brevin Spanford. Maybe it's Michael Trigg. I'm out on Luke Schoonmaker, but I don't get.
So if you make a break, Luke Schoonmaker, you're saying
broke. He's broken. I don't think Schooney.
Yeah.
I don't think Schooney's on the roster. But the Ferg stuff, I think the knocks on Ferg is a little too much for me.
Devontae Turpin.
Okay, as a receiver,
Your call, brother.
I think we're break here. I think we need Kevontae Turpin to just be your kick returner. That's what we want you to focus on. We want you to return kicks. We want you to return punts. And we need to stop forcing this whole you're a offensive playmaker and weapon.
Down the field, catching the ball.
Hey, if you have injuries at receiver, and now we need to add some more Kevontae Turpin wrinkles. But I feel like every time he's on the field, defenses kind of have an idea, what do you want to do with him?
Sure.
Let's get him on a jet sweep. Let's put him in the backfield. And I just think last year he was not as good of a returner, and you saw mental lapses in terms of field.
Because all the offensive
now
snaps.
he's focusing on being a wide receiver. Yeah. And it's like, no. You got paid and you made it in the NFL because you are an all-pro kick returner. Yeah. That's what I need, that element, all three phases. Right. Shout out to Jay Jeezy. And I think you've got enough wide receiver talent, especially I like some of the guys they brought in Jordan Hudson, that type of player. I mean, I think Trayshawn Holden, who was a guy on the practice squad last year, can he take a step that I think you got enough options at wide receiver. I think let's have Kevontae Turpin focus as a returner.
Jonathan Mingo.
Jonathan Mingo would not be even on my team now. Jonathan Mingo's a break. I mean, he can't get on the field. I mean, that's a dude you traded a 4th-round pick for, and he's not getting active on game day. And then finally they decided...
You're saying that's a second-round miss that they had.
Big time.
They were talking to the grades like a 1-2-0.
Yeah, it's a big miss. Yeah. And even as a wide receiver that blocks well, I think that's been a little bit overblown. So
we sold that one though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Sold the block and wide receiver.
Saw that at Ole Miss, but it just hasn't translated for him for whatever reason. I think Mingo, he's a receiver 5. He's a depth piece for you. I don't see him really making it.
Maris Liufau.
Oh man, I think in terms of a starting defensive player, I think we're looking at a break for Marist. I think Marist is going to hang around in the league because he can be a hell of a special teams player. Sure. I mean, he's the type of guy you want in your locker room, in your organization, works hard, and he is good at special teams. I don't know what the fit is here. I don't see him as an outside linebacker, pass rush guy. I think he's a good blitzer, but I don't know. I know others kind of think that, okay, can we tap into this? Did he do this in Notre Dame? I don't see that. I don't think he's going to be able to win consistently as an edge rushing type.
I'll lump these two together. How about Jalen Blue and Phil Mafah?
I think they're going to make it.
You think so?
Yeah, I like Mafah more than you do. I like Phil Mafah. He was one of my big surprises last year in the offseason. I thought he looked really good in the preseason. Sure. I think if Javonte Williams goes down, and Malik Davis is a guy that I think is kind of forgotten, but I think Phil Mafah is a player that they look at as like, okay, he can step up and be our number 1 back. Blue has the talent. My biggest issue for Blue, outside of just maybe the mentals, is the fumbles. Yeah. Are you ever going to get that fixed? That was a reason in Texas he wasn't on the field as much. Yeah. I mean, the ball security is a problem, but I'm going to lean make. I think both those guys, especially Phil Mafah being healthy, but a year being a pro, Jaden Blue knowing like I gotta make it happen. I'm probably going to be out of the league. I'll go make for those two, and that's going to be great for the offense.
How about Trevon Revel?
Make. Yeah, I'm a believer in Revel.
So he's not at the make or break, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it is. I mean, it is one of those years now. I mean, for him and Bland, I think they're both in this category because Bland's gotten out after this year in his contract where they could move on, and I don't think it's going to impact the salary cap much. But, Revel, you got a new coaching staff. So if you don't prove it to them, then it's like, all right, we're going to look in a different direction here. But I believe in Revel. I think you're now 2 years removed from the injury.
I do.
The brace, I think, was a big issue for him. He seemed like he was touching it every time.
By the way, they're still working through that, talking to people over there.
Is he still going to have to wear it?
There's still some thought. It might be, should he wear it? Should he not wear it? There's things that we're working on that.
Okay, if he has to wear the brace,
this is going to be a problem.
It might be a kaput. Yeah. If he doesn't have to wear the brace, I'm a believer in Savon Revel. Let's go.
How about this one? And this will be my last one for this category. Nate Thomas.
I like Nate Thomas.
I do too.
I think Nate Thomas at right tackle, to me, I'm okay with that. I don't like him at the left side.
Yeah.
I think that he can play at right tackle. Hell, I think he could even give you some guard looks.
Yeah.
If you want to if you had to kick Tyler Smith to left tackle, I wouldn't mind seeing what Nate Thomas could do at left guard.
Yeah.
I think that he's a power player. I think he's okay. He's just heavy-footed, which is why I don't think he works as well on the left side. And maybe we make too much of a big a deal about that because now teams are moving around their edges all over the place and they're swapping sides. So it's like it's not where you used to think I got to have the left tackle as my best tackle. But I do think Nate Thomas can still give you something. I still do believe in Nate Thomas. I think at times he's just a little too slow out of his stance, but another year of seasoning. I think Thomas he played well for you. There was some bad, but there was some good. I think that he has a chance if something happens with Steele. I could see him starting a right tackle.
The thing I really do like Nate Thomas as well. And I wonder is he in that situation now where they're going to try and play him at a couple different positions?
Yeah. Does it hurt him?
And does it hurt him?
I get that.
I want to see. I don't think there's going to be. And I hate this. I hate because I asked you this question that I asked on the show the other day. Is position battles a myth? And I wonder.
It's not for the second and third tier guys.
So position battles there's legitimate.
Yeah.
I think that's more roster battles.
Okay. Sure.
Like
however you want to phrase it.
But is it the same?
It's the same thing. You're battling for running back 2. You're battling for quarterback.
But it's
2.
a roster. I mean, it always seems like there's
like depth chart battles.
Yeah, we always like to throw that.
Yeah.
Well, it was like every show leading up in June, we're gonna, it's July. It's
we got to make content.
What are the position battles going to be? And you're like, these coaches will play who they want.
True.
But I think that maybe you're playing more for a roster spot if you're a second or a third or a fourth.
Okay. Yeah, just to make the team. Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at
I'm talking out both sides of my mouth right now.
Well, I mean, I do think it's pretty much it's kind of the same thing, but I see what you're saying in terms of starters.
Yeah,
we don't really have a.
They always want to tell us.
Yeah.
We always have a ESPN.
Who's your starting left tackle?
Yeah, there's always this roster. And by the way, I don't think there'll be any battles at right tackle. I think it's all going to come on the left side.
You think there'll be a legit battle? And who do you think's in that? Is it Nate Thomas and Guyton? Is it Shelton? I mean, is it all three of those guys? Because I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and watch more of Nate Thomas. I didn't think I liked him at left tackle much. I don't think that's he really
wasn't.
He's going to struggle there.
Yeah, it wasn't his best.
I don't think
position.
it's built for him.
God, they might be in problems at the left tackle then.
Yeah, they might. You need Tyler Guyton to stay healthy.
For sure.
Can you have a healthy camp? And let's cross our fingers and hope.
All right. One final question. Better impact on offense. This is going to be because he's a rookie guy.
Okay.
Flournoy or Trigg?
I love it because I do love me some Michael Trigg, but I'm a big Flo fan. I'm gonna say Flournoy,
just because he's already been playing.
Yeah, and I believe that Ryan Flournoy is.
Is there a chance that Trigg doesn't make this team?
There's a chance. Yeah,
okay.
There's a chance.
Okay,
there's a chance that Trigg. And I think that
so. I'm already putting him in there as making the team. But now I think about it, there's a chance he might not.
There is a chance that they decide maybe Schoonmaker comes out and realizes, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose my NFL career.
Yeah,
and he actually crushes it, or somebody else emerges. Maybe it's Rodgers from TCU.
See, that's what I was going to ask you about. We haven't talked about Rodgers very much.
No. Now, I like Trigg more, but Rodgers is a steady kind of player.
Yeah.
Rodgers is probably a little bit more well-rounded than what Trigg is. You can see Rodgers block, and Trigg doesn't block. But Michael Trigg is special as a receiving weapon.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to go with Flo, and I think that the reason is I think he's trying to play this year to prove you don't need to go and get a wide receiver 2 when George Pickens is gone next year.
Yeah.
I'm your guy.
You're thinking George Pickens is gone?
I think George Pickens is a Dallas Cowboy this year, and then he's playing somewhere else next year. Yeah, I do. I don't think that I think Stephen Jones spelled it out when he said, I don't think we can pay two receivers that amount of money.
There are people in the organization, not only him, there's other people in the organization.
And I understand it, right? I mean, especially there's only so many pieces of the pie. I mean, look, Philly's made it work with Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown, but in fairness, they did that prior to the wide receiver salary going up as high as it is now, right? So, I hope that they still get something in return for Pickens. Like, as unfair as it is, I'd put another tag on him and say, hey, somebody give me a little something. I'm not going to let you go for free. But I think Ryan Flournoy is going to be trying to prove I can be a wide receiver too, and you're good here.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. It's always a blast.
That was good. That was
your
a lot of
hair's
fun.
looking good.
How you like that?
Or just the scalp.
The scalp, yeah.
It's shining. It's glistening.
Yeah, I always worry about that. The whole shining part.
I think it's awesome. I think you rock it well.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that right there.
Look at that dome.
Yeah, look at that dome. I'll tell you what. I missed the Ben Franklin hair. I'm not going to lie.
Man, a picture popped up, actually. Do you remember when I dressed up as you for a bet payoff?
Yeah.
And you dressed up as Benjamin Franklin,
Right,
and we're sitting together
Yeah.
in that prep room. It's a hilarious photo. I need to send it to you.
It is funny. It is funny. All right. Well, that'll do it for us today here on The Stack. We're going to be doing this once a week and kind of filling in. We're going to have some more, like I say, the fan questions I absolutely love. We'll have some OTA and minicamp practices.
Yeah.
We got the schedule for that. So we'll be able to break those things down for you on a daily basis. We'll break those down and then talk about them, on a weekly basis there. So, again, for my guy, Zach Wolchuk, I'll say thank you again. If you need anything from us as far as like if you want any of the merch, if you want to be able to check out, we got our stacks. If you want to go back and look at that, that's still, if you want to go back and study the draft some more, we got our stacks there. We got all that stuff. We got everything about Crown Global Media is there. Ask you to like and subscribe. That's another thing that helps us here at Crown Global Media. So again, for Zach Wolchuk and Aisha Morrison, for my guys in the back, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.